Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Now earlier in the week, Blizzard announced patch 7.1, Return to Karazhan, an area which houses one of the most beloved raids that the World of Warcraft has ever seen, and this before Legion has even released. Now one thing that we do know about 7.1 is that it's going to bring with it a 5-person, 9-boss dungeon, mega dungeon, Uber dungeon. That sounds way better if you ask me, which sounds really cool indeed. But this asks quite a few questions of what exactly is going on in Karazhan at the moment. You see, even before 7.0 technically comes out, we've already seen some changes to the place. Now, a bit of a red herring is this area here, which is actually the Catacombs. And the Catacombs is part of the storyline that involves Affliction Warlocks, Moonkins, Unholy DKs for your artifact weapon. I don't think this is going to play any part whatsoever in the actual dungeon itself. No, there's somewhere else which has been in the game since vanilla that people have been intrigued about for absolutely donkey's years, as long as the game is old. And that, of course, is the Karazhan Crypts. Now, even I did a video about a year or so ago about how to secretly get inside of it, because there is a huge, sprawling, vast area to explore. Then a few weeks ago, Haven Games did a very intriguing video about some changes which had actually occurred to the crypts themselves. I've put it up there, and I've also linked it in the description box down below. Check it out and subscribe to his channel while you're there. He's absolutely fantastic. But there's been even more change since then. You see, you can now go down into the initial part of the crypt. And when you do go there, what you'll see is an altar, but the well, which used to be open, has now been filled up, and you can no longer jump down them. And there is a wooden slat gate, which is preventing you from going further inside. But that aforementioned Haven Games video will show you how to bypass that. It's a pretty flimsy bit of no entry, if you ask me. So the question really is, are these subtle changes to the Karazhan Crypts going to have anything to do with the 7.1 Uber dungeon? And I think the answer is yes. Yes, I do. You see, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that it will, and that is because why even raise the portcullises in the first place? Why block off the well? Because, of course, it would act as a shortcut. And why put such a flimsy gate in the way, which is, as you can see, really easy to bypass? So let's just say for now that Karazhan Crypts does have something to do with the patch 7.1 dungeon. It then lends the question as to how many potential bosses could be down here and what exact role will it play? Well, first of all, I can see the Karazhan Crypts being the entranceway. I think this is the way that we're going to start the dungeon in 7.1. And there's some beautiful winding pathways down here which perfectly fit trash. And on top of that, you can also find yourself in some rooms which events could take place, like this massive burial ground right here. I can just imagine skeletons and rotting corpses coming up from it for us to attack. But there are a lot of kind of nonsensical areas of this place. If you're looking at dungeon design, I mean, it's on 3 levels for a start, which is quite bizarre in the way that it's been manufactured. And some areas don't really feel as if they could hold bosses, maybe just more trash. So with that said, I can legitimately see a few changes being made here. We've already seen the removal of virtually every single portcullis that's down here. I think Blizzard are potentially looking at ways to cut areas off or link them into other areas in a different way. So with that said, Blizzard could actually throw us a complete curveball, you see, because at the top of Karazhan, the portcullis that's blocking that portal there is also open. So that potentially could be the start. And the crypts could actually be the end of the dungeon. How exciting could that be? Now, me personally, I really hope that they don't do anything with the upside down sinners. I think this place is so freaky and creepy. You don't. There doesn't need to be an event here. Doesn't need to be any mobs here. Don't need to be going out grabbing you. I think it's enough just to unnerve enough people going into the next boss fight, especially if they amp up that heartbeat from the hole here. Are we eventually going to find out what is making it, or is it always going to remain a mystery to us? But I definitely see that room being potentially one of the boss fight areas. And then the third and final boss that I could potentially see be down here is in the final room. In the room with all those bones stacked together. This is where the well would lead if you were able to jump down. Could you just imagine if they started to animate and come together and form some absolutely grotesque creature? Oh, the thought is just kind of like shuddering and at the same time awesome. So all in all, I think the Karazhan Crypts has the ability to house around 3 bosses, which still leaves 6 bosses in this dungeon to be done and Blizz to be creative with. But that, of course, is complete and utter speculation and supposition. What they have planned for it may be completely different than we think. It might not be as standard. It might not be from top to bottom or from bottom to top. They might have some really unnerving plans for this place. But we're going to find out in 7.1. So I really do hope that you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up. And also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. And don't forget to click Haven Games' link and also subscribe to him too. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.